Welcome to the Dr. Diane Show, where we explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. With over 20 years of expertise as a mindset warrior, perspective shifter, and unshakable optimist, I am dedicated to helping you reach your wildest dreams in business, health, performance, and relationships. Learn about the power of thought and how it shapes your life to take risks, change careers, find love, go on adventures, and live passionately with me, Dr. Diane. Get ready for revolutionary ways of thinking, being, and creating an amazing life. The Dr. Diane Show starts now. Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Diane Show. I'm Dr. Diane Hayden. You're listening to my show on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with us for the next hour where we will explore revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul. Join me on the first and third Thursdays on the Dr. Diane Show, where I have experts from around the country teaching you cutting-edge therapies on longevity medicine, natural health, mindset, and soul purpose to help you shift your perspective and become a mindset warrior like me. And please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden. I'm excited today to have with me Deirdre Tindall. She is the founder of Tindall Creative Marketing and Your Wellness Circle, bringing over 25 years of experience in marketing, sales, and holistic coaching. Throughout her extensive career supporting clients in the business and marketing space, Deirdre noticed a recurring challenge. Many entrepreneurs struggled with personal life and health issues that inevitably spilled over into their business success. This realization inspired her to launch Your Wellness Circle, a health, life, and business coaching practice dedicated to helping individuals find true balance across all areas of their lives. Deirdre believes that life is like a three-legged stool, where business, health, and personal well-being must all be strong and harmonious. If one leg falters, the entire structure wobbles. Through Your Wellness Circle, she empowers clients to nurture every component, ensuring that their business thrives because their whole life is in alignment. Through the integration of marketing expertise and wellness coaching, she stands out as a rare guide who helps business owners build success rooted in balance and well-being. And you can learn more about Deirdre at www.yourwellnesscircle.com. So welcome, Deirdre. How are you today?
I'm good. Good to see you again, Diane.
Yeah, for sure. So for those of you who have seen another show that Deirdre and I did previously, we were talking mostly about your primary love, which is marketing, mine as well. And so just give us a little bit of background, like what you do from the marketing perspective. And I know that we want to make clear, to those listening now that you're not moving away from that, but this is something that you're doing in conjunction with your marketing expertise.
Yes. I'm not moving away from marketing. We both love marketing to a fault, both of us.
Probably.
Yes, to a fault. Absolutely. No, so I have a marketing business, and I know when we were on last time, we talked all about marketing and some of the things that you and I have both experienced. And I would have to say that the new business adventure I created it a long time ago. I never really fully launched it. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. So, and I have ideas for tons and tons of different businesses, many that I don't act on. And Your Wellness Circle is definitely one that I launched a long time ago, just never really did anything with it. But over the years in my marketing business, I don't think there's a single person that's come to me for business or for marketing that I either had discussions with them about the business side and either turned them away and said, come back to me when this is fixed on the business side so that marketing can be much more effective for you. I can be much more effective for you. And then, they did that and they would come back to me and we would start working on the marketing. But inevitably, I built such trust with customers and they become so close to me that they feel very safe with me. And so that would lead to all kinds of conversations around health and their families and, their disjointed relationships and all different types of topics. And so that's kind of where, and I would give them the best advice that I could at the time, right? And I would be there for them as a guide and as a resource, not just on the marketing side, but for just being there for them. Because a lot of times people just want somebody to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where this all sort of came about. And it came about and it's been mulling in my brain for a long, long time. And I finally decided to do something about it. And so I have, and that's where sort of the impetus for the Wellness Circle came into play.
I love it.
But my love has been in marketing, and I have a full service digital marketing agency. As you know, we've worked on a lot of different things together. I serve a variety of different types of clients, all different aspects, different backgrounds, different industries, doing everything from full service marketing of websites and graphic design and blogging and, you name it, you name the gamut, we do it.
Well, inevitably, whenever someone comes for business coaching, I'm sure that you have experienced this because I was doing some business coaching for a while before I started the magazine. And it's never like they come to you, people come to you with like problems in their business. But when you really dig down a little bit deeper, it's usually that there's a problem somewhere else in their life that's creating the problem in the business. Which people
Correct.
are probably like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But literally, I found it's either a relationship issue that's not working or a health issue that's preventing them from really, doing what they need to do to get a business off the ground or maintain a business or all that. So I love what you're doing with this because it makes absolute sense to me that all those things work together and you have to have all of them fully functioning because if there's something going on in one area, it's going to spill over into the other areas for sure.
And it does, it always does, right? And I've been dealing with it for 20 years, right? And a lot of times, my husband will be in the background on a conference call and he'll overhear something and he'll say, "Is that marketing or is that like a therapy call?" And it's like, well, it's kind of both because, just because of my
Yep.
nature, like I want to be there for them and I want to support them. And I've been blessed with a ton of resources, like a ton of resources, over the years. And so it kind of is a little bit of both, right? It dovetails like I'm doing marketing, but then we get into all this other stuff and I'm really good at probing and asking questions. And so I think that's kind of where, um, just working so closely with entrepreneurs and business owners. And I noticed this is the pattern that I noticed over the years, right? And like you said, they were challenged in their personal lives and their health. They were, and all of it is spilling over into their business because they can't but help it not spill over into their business, right? And so it affects their employees. It affects how they show up to work every day. It affects how they feel about the work that they're doing. Um, and I think it became clear to me that no matter how strong their business strategy may have been, right? Like it's nearly impossible to reach their potential if all of these other things are happening and they're sort of taking them away from the focus of what, the business itself. I'll say.
Yeah. So you focus on health, life, and business coaching. And we've
Those
kind
are
of
the
already,
three, yeah, those are the three focus. And the reason, and I sort of have always been doing business coaching under marketing, but I
mhm.
took business coaching out of marketing, and it's really the marketing agency is the marketing agency, and the business coaching, I paired that with the health and life coaching because again, for all those reasons we just talked about. But I focus on in some cases I'm working with some clients now where they may have come to me for business coaching, but then it's now we're trying to do all three, right? Because there's stuff in their personal life, there's stuff in their health is disjointed. So we're kind of working all three of them at the same time. Um, and she
Yeah,
came to me for business coaching. So
of course. That's how it happens. So tell me a little bit about why you chose the name Your Wellness Circle. What is that? Is there like a philosophy behind that?
yeah, because I think, even for myself, I mean, and I'll say also from a personal background, story, history, I think all of us have struggled with balance and structure and kids and partners and so for me, I developed my own wellness circle to help me function at my optimal, to help me function at my best and to achieve all the things that I have as goals that I've set for myself. And so the wellness circle has really, the reason I named it that is because my wellness circle may look very different than your wellness circle, right? You may need different things that help you function and be your best. And so the point of the wellness circle name is that that's what I do is I help people develop what it is that their wellness circle is. What is it that's going to work for them? In my case, it's a combination of fitness and faith and, other modalities that I'm doing in addition to, some of the basic stuff that we do on a daily basis. But that is the reason why I named it your wellness circle because and when all of those things are off for me, when I'm not doing some of those things that are in my wellness circle, I notice an immediate impact in different parts of my life, and I notice it in my business. And so that's why I came up with the name of Your Wellness Circle. And originally, years and years ago, when I developed the name and the brand, There were some different facets to this that I'm no longer doing as part of this brand. But that's essentially why I created it.
So it's really about, um, well, I'm assuming it could be both, but I was thinking more when I first was reading your, your bio and everything about this, that what you meant by your wellness circle was you were connecting people with practitioners, let's say, or a support system, or like a dream team, so to speak. And maybe you also are doing that, but it sounds like it's really more about you're trying to help the person decide what their wellness circle is in terms of what do they do on a daily basis to stay healthy, to stay focused, to run their business, that kind of thing. Like, do they need exercise? Do they need nutrition help? Do they need massage or stress reduction? It's really more
Mhm.
about not necessarily people you're connecting them with, but how do they plan out their day, let's say,
It's more that
to
it's mostly
optimize.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's mostly that. And then it's really what is their day, what is their life, what is their week, what is their month, what does that look like for them? And then of course it may mean connecting them to different people, different practitioners for sure. I mean, we've done that. I work with a personal trainer and he's involved in some of the client work that I'm doing with regards to those clients that may have a need for fitness or for their health in a physical way. But it's really the circle is sort of more continuous and evolving. It's like, what are you doing and what are you having to do in your life to evolve to be able to function at your best in those different areas? And so all of our needs change over time. I mean, I'm at a different age than I was, right, a couple of years ago. So my needs have changed. They've evolved. I need different things, so I'm adding different things. But I think the goal is to stay in alignment. I know that word's sort of overused in the wellness space. But again, I use the three-legged stool, right? And I notice it in my own life, which is why everything always comes back to habit. And I talk a lot about that with clients and I talk about in my own life. When the leg is out, right, I'm not functioning where I need to be functioning at my best. And so it always goes right back to those habits that I set in place for myself, right? And I may have stopped doing those habits that got me to the success that I would, that I had achieved. And so everything for me goes back to habits. That's why I love the book Atomic Habits. Um, but yeah, that's a little bit about sort of the wellness circle.
I got to read that book. That's on my list.
The best book.
I heard
I've
it was,
probably read it 100 times, and every
oh,
time I go
wow.
back to it,
Yep.
I get some other kernel of knowledge, and employ it in my life. It's fantastic. But yeah, I think for me, just like with marketing, with all my clients in marketing, and same thing with this, is that I just want them to feel supported, which they're not supported. In some cases, they're not supported at home. They're not supported by their partner. They're not supported their kids. There's stuff always going on with their kids, especially the different ages of the kids. But I want them to feel supported and knowing that they can have these other things in their wellness circle that are going to help them when things are down, when things are
Right.
bad, when things aren't working. You've got these other support systems and you've got this habit that you've built for yourself and this foundation that are going to help you get through that stuff, I
I
guess.
love it. I love it. And we're going to talk about a lot more. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and explore more with Deirdre Tindall. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back in the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. But before we continue, I want to make sure everyone knows how to contact me. You can find me at www.drdianehayden.com or at either of my two publications, www.naturalnutmeg.com and www.essentialnaples.com. And you can learn more about my guest, Deirdre Tindall, at her website, which is www.yourwellnesscircle.com. That's spelled WELLNESSCIRCLE.com. So before we just took a short break, Deirdre, we were talking about the kinds of people that that are attracted to you and why. So, and I just wanted to clarify, like, I know you and I are in kind of the holistic practitioner industry, solo entrepreneurs, that kind of thing, but you're really opening this up to anybody, like literally anyone who is looking for coaching in terms of could be business or health or life or any of that, and kind of learning your strategies around creating this circle for yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I haven't really aligned myself with a specific niche because I'm seeing different people from different walks of life. I would say that where I can excel for them is that I think many of the clients that are coming to me now, they've been by referral, right? Through relationship, through another person who knows another person. And over the last 25 years, I've met so many people through networking and building really positive relationships. So it's coming through that. But I think for me, where I feel like I can have the most impact is that I feel like the people that are coming to me, they know what they need to do, right? They know what they need to do, but they're struggling for whatever reason, and there's a variety of reasons for why they're struggling. They're struggling to actually make it happen.
Yep.
And they're often overwhelmed by the competing priorities that they may have, kids, partners, business for sure, staff, there's all those other competing things. Life is competing, right? And so for me, I think where I can really have an impact with them is helping them to really figure that out, like come to that conclusion about what it is that's the competing priorities, what's happening, and help them to get clear on what truly matters for them, and then create structures around that, right? Habits and structure around that stuff that they've identified. And then really putting in very, very simple, manageable habits to help them reach the goals that they've identified. And my goal is to really hold them and hold them accountable to that, right? And so there are people that are high performers that are coming to me, people that have in the past, they know they've seen a lot of different people. They know what they should be doing for their fitness. They know what they should be doing for their weight loss. They know what they should be doing for their business, but they're not doing it. And the
Not
and the
executing.
question, right? They're not
You can have
executing.
the
And
plan,
so,
but you got to execute it.
right, right. And so that's where I am finding like people are coming to me for that. And those are really fun to work with because they already have the drive, they already have that willpower. They had it at one point. It's just waned a little bit. And now they're coming to me to really help hold them to the fire and help them. I help them kind of come to the conclusions. I can't come to the conclusions for them. I can probably see it and I can figure out what is happening. But ultimately, I'm trying to help them come to their own conclusions and then help them find some framework around it, help them reestablish some better habits, and then hold them to what they said they want to do. And the accountability piece, I think, is the piece that is always missing in every weight loss program, every health program, every business plan, every anything in
Absolutely.
life.
Yep.
It's an accountability problem. And so I don't let them fail because I keep staying after them. I stay after them. Same way I do in business and marketing. I stay after the client. Hey, I didn't get this. I didn't get this. Hey, why don't I get it? What's going on? What's happening? And not letting them fail, which means I'm not failing them. So I'm always showing up for them. So those are the types of clients that are coming to me, but certainly I will work with anybody at this point right now because I don't want people to be struggling the way I've seen some people struggling.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up accountability because I would totally agree with you. That is like the number one thing in terms of, in my opinion, us having success with working with a coach or accomplishing a goal or whatever. Because I can tell you from my own personal experience, I mean, I'm pretty driven about my fitness routine and, the way that I eat and all that kind of thing. But a couple of years ago, I worked with a personal trainer and a nutrition coach just for the heck of it because I was tired of doing my own routines. I needed something fresh and whatever. This guy was awesome, but let me tell you, like literally, it didn't even occur to me like, oh, the certain things that I was doing like on a daily basis with my food, like not getting enough protein or not getting enough calories in or having too many calories on a particular day that you don't even really think about or notice unless you're actually being held to the accountability of it with somebody else. Like I had to literally like text him after every meal and figure out the calories or whatever. He'd be like, oh, you missed this or you missed that or whatever. I'm like, if I wasn't doing this, it would, like I would be like, why am
Mhm.
I not making, why are things not changing the way I want them to when I feel like I'm doing everything right? So that is huge. That is
Right.
really huge.
And
And like you said, in every area too, right? It's not just for like health. It could be accountability for your marketing strategies or relationship goals or whatever it might be.
yeah, and I've seen it time and time again. I mean, you know, it's like going to a conference, right? You have every intent on leaving the conference and
Yep.
employing all the different strategies that you got from all the different you know, seminars that you went to, and then you get home and life just hits you in the face and your kids and your partner and everything else, and then you don't do anything that you just learned and you were so excited about. And so that is what I'm passionate about, is making sure that you start doing those things, and I keep you accountable to those things until you can get into the habit. And that's the key, is until you can get into the habit,
Right.
being able to just do it like rote
Yourself.
memory, like your
Yep.
body just knows I'm brushing my teeth every day. Like you would never not miss brushing your teeth. It's the same way with some of the things that I'm working with clients on, is let's put these habits in place, like you're brushing your teeth, and I'm going to stay on you and help you and help you and help you until you're just doing it like second nature.
Right. And that's the other
So,
thing about habit too. It's like um people think, oh, I have such a hard time with weight loss because I blew it this week. So if I blew it this week with my diet, then, or I didn't get to the gym or whatever, then forget it. I'm just not going to, I'm just, I give up. Whereas in my life, the thing that has worked for me is that Monday's a new day. And I don't care what I did last week. Monday's a new day. It's a new week. Now I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to, get back on this eating plan. It's like, don't think like because you messed up on one day or a couple of days or a week or whatever that you got to throw the whole thing out the window. Just turn the page the next day and get back at it. Like it's literally that simple. And quite honestly, it's boring. In fact, there's a commercial on, right? So we're doing this podcast in October of 2025, and I'm watching baseball. And there's this commercial that I keep seeing, and I forget who the player is, but what he says is that his routine is boring, and he loves boring because basically he just goes to the gym and does the same thing every single day, and that's what makes him be a stellar athlete. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. It's like it's not sexy, it's not really exciting. It's literally just getting up every day and going and doing the same thing the next day. Like, that's
right,
what gets you to
right.
where you want
And
to
not
be.
self-sabotaging. I mean, that's the challenge,
Right.
is not self-sabotaging. Because I think, you know, I see that a lot, not only in marketing, but I see it in business. And I also see it, well, again, it's self-sabotage is happening because they're self-sabotaging their personal life. They're because of whatever reasons, things that are happening. And so um you're right, it is not sexy, it is boring, it's routine can be boring, but routine can also be what keeps you safe. Routine is what also helps you be successful. And it's those habits that you have to put in place very slowly, right? Because especially if you're starting with someone who's, you know, not done any of this, you have to start very, very slowly, so that it's not overwhelming to them. So
Yeah. But that's the key to it. It's not like there's not really any kind of magic thing, I think. And I don't care whether we're talking about weight loss or muscle building or a relationship or marketing or building your business or whatever. It's just the day to day, like just every day, just get up, do it again, get up, do it again, get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
right,
those,
that one
create those
small
habits.
repeatable, right, that one
Mhm.
small repeatable habit that you do, you just do it every single day, every single day, every single day. And eventually it's compound interest, right? It's gonna produce the results that you're looking for. So for sure.
Right, exactly. Do you find that people are typically coming to you with a business like struggle or something like that, and then it ends up that it's something else in their life that is what you attend to first before you get to the business situation?
I mean, I have some with that scenario where they're coming for business, but then I also have I have others coming to me who are saying, I'm struggling with life in general and balance in general and new relationships that I'm having, and I can't figure out how I integrate that and how I still make myself a priority and how I still make my business a priority. And so there's sort of those aspects. And then certainly I would say more those two scenarios for sure. And then ensconced in that, when you start working with them, is all this, then there's this whole other health part, right?
Yep.
They don't come first right now with the health. It's the personal life, the transitions, then it's the business. But then once you get into it, there's this whole massive thing about health and what's happening with their health.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's
it's like,
interesting.
okay, which one, the chicken or the egg? Like, which one was it? Is it the bit? Okay, no, it's the business. Is it health? Is it like, and that's what's really fun about it, is trying to help them work through all those different dynamics, because they're all being impacted in some way or another with each other.
Yeah, and especially with, I think, our industry right now. I mean, I can't tell you how many holistic practitioners I've talked to recently that are just either so overwhelmed because they're so busy, or just on the verge of burnout because they've been doing it for so long and they're a solo practitioner, and there's just, they never they either they never wanted to, or they never figured out how to kind of expand their practice so that they could, move to different things and maybe bring on other practitioners, that kind of thing. But it's just, I mean, this industry is taking off, and it's like literally, I've got people who are booked out 6 months, 8 months, whatever. They're like, oh my god, I can't even breathe.
Right. And those people are also people that need coaches, right?
Right.
Just like a therapist who's seeing a ton of patients and has a thriving practice, they themselves actually need therapy because of all of those other things that are happening. Not only the draining capacity of what takes their mental fortitude to help clients, but then also then you're going home and you have the kids and you have the husband or the partner and you have all this other stuff happening. So there's also that scenario as well, that even though you're a successful entrepreneur, there may be this other stuff that's happening behind the scenes that, you yourself need to address and you yourself need help with, besides just the business part of it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that that's, what you're doing is fantastic, because those are some of the people I think that need the most help, because all they do all day is help their patients or their clients. And so what are they doing for their self-care? Like most of the times they're not doing anything. It's like,
Not
and they
doing
say,
anything at
I'm not
all.
even practicing what I'm preaching. So,
No,
it's
not
so
at all.
crazy.
They're
So
absolutely not doing anything for themselves because they think it's selfish to do something for themselves because they've spent all
it's,
this time on their business and now they have to go back and serve their children,
it
and they're
is, yeah, it is
competing
so
things.
crazy. We're going to get into a lot more. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back on the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. You can learn more about me at www.drdianehayden.com. And I'm talking today with Deirdre Tindall. You can learn more about her at her website, which is www.yourwellnesscircle.com. And that's spelled YOURWELLNESSCIRCLE.com. So, right before we left, we were talking about balance and how so many holistic practitioners are, just do not have a balanced life at all, and are, just so busy taking care of their patients that they're not taking care of themselves at all. So for someone like that, or really anybody who's, I would say most people struggle with balance in some way, shape, or form in their life, what is one small practical step that you would recommend somebody take to get more balance in their life?
I'm going to come back to habits. So, I always tell people I want you to start with start with a keystone habit, right? And if you don't know what a keystone habit is, it's just one small action that has a ripple effect on your life, right? Or all areas of your life. And it's not about overhauling everything. I talk to people about that all the time. It's just it's intentionality. So taking like an intentional step that makes more balance natural over time. So for example, you could do a morning pause, right? Spend 5 minutes each morning without your screen. And if you just did that like every single day, like that's your morning pause, no screens. You just breathe, maybe do a little breathing work. You could do a journal like every single day. I call them non-negotiables. They're part of my non-negotiables. Every single morning, I do a meditation. It can be a very short one. I do a grateful journal every single day. I do a grateful journal, just one small thing. Even when I don't feel like doing it, I do one small, this is what I'm grateful for, so that I start my morning off like that. And if I do that, and if people do that, it just starts your day off in a very calm manner, right? You could do things like a daily walk, right?
I
You
was
could
going to
take a
say,
short walk.
yeah, like 15 minutes, like just get outside
Correct.
and walk for 15 minutes, honestly.
Right. But by the way, walking like improves your digestion. So like if you start walking like right after you've eaten lunch, It's going to improve your digestion. It's going to clear your mind. It's going to help you reset in the afternoon when you have to come back into an office, right? You and I don't work in office buildings where we're with tons of people, but and then you could also do like I do a shutdown ritual like every single night, right? So choose a time in the evening where you're going to clear your mind, you're going to do a reset before you go to bed. And then also like what I do is I do again another grateful before I go to bed. I write in my grateful journal just like something I'm grateful for before I go to bed. So I'm being very intentional to get my mind off of all the other stuff that could clearly take over your day and night, and being very intentional. And those are just like small little tiny habits. That's part of a keystone habit that you can do very easily, and it will help set the tone for your day and help you to start find a little bit more balance in your life.
I love it. Yeah, for sure. And it's also about mindset too. It's about like, what is I love how you said, you do this gratitude journal in the morning, and that really just flips your mindset for the day or sets you up to have a more positive mindset. And it's so important. I think people don't really make the connection or give a lot of thought to how your personal health and your mindset impact success in your business or your professional life.
It's true. And I mean, one thing I would say real quickly about those habits that I talked about is the consistency, right? So it's consistency, not intensity, right? You don't have to do a lot of different things, but what you have, if you decide that you're going to have a grateful journal every single morning, you're going to do a breathing technique in the morning, do it every single day. It's the consistency that compound interest over time is going to help. And sometimes I think the reason people quit and they stop doing that is because they're looking for an immediate result, and they may not see the immediate result that they're getting, more balance, more structure, whatever it is. And so they quit and they stop doing it because they're not seeing like, oh, well, that didn't work right away. But if you keep doing it over time, and I think that's the challenge and that's the problem with why people quit weight loss programs and health programs and everything else, is it's the consistency, right? That's the habit and the consistency. So that's all I would say is just do it consistently, not intense, but just consistently.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that's kind of the theme that we're talking about. It's like, it's the boring day-to-day stuff that you do every day. Like literally, it's just that get up, do it again, get up, do it again, get up, do it again, right? It's not there's not really any magic bullet or pill, which unfortunately I think a lot of people are looking for. Like I want this to happen in like, a month. I want to lose this amount of weight, or I want to deal with this health issue, or I want to improve my finances. I mean, everybody wants everything immediately because we have this, instant gratification society. It's like, look, you didn't get into that problem, meaning you didn't gain all that weight in a month. You didn't like, not manage your finances just for a month. You didn't you stop exercising, or whatever it might be. You didn't have a chronic health issue that didn't happen in a month, so it's not going to be that you're going to be able to all of a sudden just boom fix it in a couple of weeks or a month. It's going to take the time.
Right. And I think it's important to have a tracker or some visible sign of what you're doing, right? So me seeing that journal book every single day right by my side of my bed. I mean, I get out of bed, it's the first thing I see. When I go into my room, it's the first thing I see. And it's really cool to be able to like open up the journals I've gone through many, many journals, to be able to kind of flip through and see like how
Yeah,
many things I've written down.
that's
But I think
awesome.
having something visual will help you tracking the habit, right?
Right.
Calendar or something that will help you with the consistency of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So is there any client success story that comes to mind that really demonstrates the power of what you're doing here, combining health, life, and business coaching?
I have a couple really good success stories on my website. One person in particular wrote me a really great testimonial and actually did a video for me. And this person was what I would say the ultimate busy person. And sometimes busy is a form of self-sabotage because we keep
Hmm.
ourselves so busy that we don't have to think about like what's actually going on, and like what's happening, are there relationships that are disjointed, are there things happening in my business. We're
Right.
so busy, 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 it's keeping us from actually feeling and thinking and seeing what's actually happening. But I think in this particular case, this person was very busy and had a lot of different a lot of different responsibilities. He'd gotten in bad habits with his diet and his exercise, and his, actually, to be honest with you, his self-care in general. And so his energy was really low. His weight was higher than he wanted it to be. He had a shoulder injury that he wasn't doing the right stuff that needed to be doing from his PT's perspective. Again, habits. He wasn't doing the exercises he was supposed to be doing. And so he came to me, and I was just able to help him understand all of those different competing things that were happening to him and helped him to get back on track. And we did a lot of work in our 90-day program, and he wrote me a really wonderful review about it. It was really sweet. So that's just an example. Again, somebody who knew what they were supposed to be doing, but wasn't doing it because there was just too many responsibilities on his plate.
Yeah.
And we just kind of took that, we wrote it down and we tried to figure it out. And then we set some really clear goals. And then we sort of did small little steps to get to those goals. And that's why I think he had the success that he had. And then I held him accountable, and I'm still holding him accountable, even though I'm not working with him.
Yeah. Well, like we said, that's the whole thing for sure. I love that. I love that. Um, for someone who's listening who feels burnt out or stuck, what is the first thing you'd want them to hear from you?
I mean, I think a lot of people have so much guilt. They feel they beat themselves up so much. Um, and especially the high performers, they're really, really hard on themselves. And so I think for me, I want them to know that they're not broken, and they're not behind. I mean, they're not a failure. They're burnt out, yeah, for sure, and they feel stuck for sure, but they're not failing, right? It's really just learning to listen to our body, and it's typically a signal from our body that something needs to change. And so it's not that they're failing, it's actually a good thing because the body's telling us what we need to do. Like, we need to stop and we need to listen, and we need to figure out what it is that we need to pay attention to and what needs to change. And um, I think for me, I tell clients, like, and it's the same thing in business and marketing. Like, we don't have to fix everything at once, right? But if we can start small, let's figure out what it is that's the most important thing that we need to be doing. And with my clients on the coaching side, it's like giving themselves permission to just stop and pause and breathe and focus on that one simple step that we've come up with, rather than that whole mountain, right? Because there's two types of people. They see a mountain. One person says, "Oh my God, it's a mountain," and they fold and they hide under their covers. And there's the
Yep.
other person that sees the same mountain and it's like, "Oh my God, it's a huge mountain, but I'm just going to do like I'm going to just take one step, and
Where are
then
my
I'm going to
hiking
take another."
shoes?
Right. And I'm just going to take one
Yeah.
step and one step. And pretty soon they get so empowered by the fact that they've overcome that fear, right, of taking that first step, that it propels them to go do more and more and more. So that's what I like to help people with, is that they're not broken, and that they're capable of rewriting whatever story it is they want to rewrite, right? But it comes down to consistency and habits and structure, and it comes down to discipline.
Mhm.
They don't have to do it perfectly, but they do have to start. And that's kind of what I challenge them with, when I'm working with them, I would say. So they're not broken.
Yeah.
They're not broken. They're not behind. Their body's trying to tell them something.
I think what's hard for a high performer though is like you mentioned, people need to be kinder to themselves and, not, give them like take a break. You don't have to be so hard on yourself basically. But I think what happens with a high performer is because, and I'm speaking from experience, is that I know that I'm really hard on myself in a lot of areas. And I know sometimes that, okay, you should give yourself a break in this area. But then my mind goes to, okay, but how much of a break am I going to give myself to so that I don't like now start to go backwards from where I'm at? Like it's a fine line, right? Of, okay, I need to go easier on myself, but at the same time, I still want to reach this goal.
I
That's where
think
I
you
end
have,
up. I'm like, yeah,
yeah, but I think you have your goals written down. And I'm not suggesting that you take take your foot off the pedal, right?
right.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that you can make space and intentionality for rest. You can make space for taking care of yourself, whether it's, physical fitness or taking I mean, people can take 10 to 15 minutes a day to meditate. I mean, I can tell you some people I know are like, I don't have time for 10 to 15 minutes a day to meditate. You have
Yes,
time
you
for
do.
10 to 15 minutes. Yes, you
I
do.
know. Yep.
Well, how do I do it? You know what? There's a cool little app called Insight Timer. Let me give it to you, right? You have time to look at affirmations. There's
Right.
lots of technology has given us so much. It's good and it's a bad thing, but it's given us so many different tools that we can use to help us create that rest, to help us create that intentionality, to help us step back and find a little bit more balance. And so it's just a matter of figuring out what those things are that are going to work for you and then putting them into your wellness circle and doing it
Yep.
every single day and having someone hold you to that commitment that you made to yourself.
I love it. I love it. This is all great, great stuff. You're listening to the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking more with Deirdre Tindall. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back in the Dr. Diane Show with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. I am talking today with Deirdre Tindall, and you can learn more about her at her website, www.yourwellnesscircle.com. That's spelled YOURWellnesscircle.com. So we've been talking a lot about like the types of clients that come to you, Deirdre, and how you work with them and that kind of thing. But I wanted to kind of walk through like what is it like if I was going to work with you, or if a potential listener is interested in working with you. What are all the components? How long do we work together? Kind of walk us through like what it's like.
That's a great question. So, just like in my marketing company, I've always had flexibility and everything is customized, because I think that every single person is very different. I do have, some 90-day programs because again, I think it takes 90 days to start a new habit, hence the 90-day program.
Yep.
And so I have a 90-day program on all three levels: health, life, business coaching. Um, they meet with me so we get together obviously and we meet once a week, right? For those 90 days. For an hour, it ends up being more. They have access to me throughout the week through texting and things like that. And we always start the first session. We have an intake form, obviously, about what they're looking for and some of the challenges that we're having. But then we always start every session with their why, because the thing that I found is that unless you really understand your why for why you wanted to do this, and the anchors that we have to build anchors to tie it to that why, because if they don't, I can't be with them 24/7, right? And it's the same thing. Their personal trainer can't be with them 24/7. It's when they're not with us, those anchors are so powerful that it stops them from doing behavior that they might want to do. And I don't
Right.
want to say bad behavior, but it stops them from making choices that they probably are not going to be beneficial to them. And
Yep.
so we spend a lot of time up front talking about that and then talking about habits, because at the end of the day, all of this is about habits, and it's about changing the framework about how you see yourself and how you're seeing things in your life, and then reframing it and then figuring out what we need to do in terms of small little habits to help you get to that point. So we do a lot of work on habit change in the 90-day program. But my goal is to really help them prioritize their health, through things like better sleep, better nutrition, better movement, energy management. Because then, if they're able to do a lot of those things, then they're going to be thinking clearer for their business. They're going to be able to stay focused longer for their business. They're going to be able to handle stress in a time when they may not have been able to do it before. And so I think their resiliency increases when working with me. And then their creativity starts to flow and they just start feeling better. And then that just all benefits their business in this case, right? Because we're talking about business. And I think that equally important is their mindset. And that's what I do a lot of work around, is cultivating a strong and positive and growth oriented mindset, tied with some of those other things that I just talked about. So that's what kind of working with me looks like. Obviously, I have hourly sessions. If they just want to do a few sessions, they can do that too. But a lot of times we're customizing even their 90-day program, because it's just, there's so many different things that are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love that you start with their why every time you meet with them, because I think that that's the key right there, right? Because like you said, whether it's okay, you're trying to lose weight, so you're modifying your diet, what happens when you get a craving? Or you're implementing an exercise plan and it's a day like today, for us in Connecticut, it's literally like this is the reason why I go to Florida. It's gray, it's like 48 degrees, it's raining, it's freezing. It's like today, like, how am I going to get myself to the gym today? Because I'm not going to go outside and it's not beautiful and, it's not like exciting to go outside and get my exercise in.
Well,
So,
that's what I always say to them. Your excuses have to be, they cannot be bigger than your why. So your why has to be bigger than
right.
your excuses. And that truly, again, those anchors, and we do a lot of work around anchoring to their why, because again, today is a rainy day, but I'm still going to go out and walk, right? I'm going to go walk my 6 or 7 miles. Why? Because I know I need this. I know I need the exercise that is part of my wellness circle. I've been working all day. I know I have to do it. It's a non-negotiable. It's going to get done. And that has to be that drive, that has to be greater than any excuse that I'm giving myself. And
Yeah.
so, it's the end of the day. I'm tired. I have to take care of this. I have to take care of that. And the answer is those are really, at the end of the day, it's a form of self-sabotage. And so I don't want clients to self-sabotage, not in marketing, not in business, and certainly not in their personal lives. So I'm probably not the coach for you if you don't want me to hold you to the commitments that you've made for yourself, because I don't want you to fail and I'm not going to let you fail. Right. And so there may be somebody else that may be a better fit, but I'm not going to let you fail. And I'm going to hold you to everything that you want for yourself. I'm going to hold you to that. And I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to let you down. So I would just say that.
To which I'll say, why wouldn't someone work with you? Like, seriously? I
Well,
mean,
but
you know,
it's, you know what?
I know,
Self-sabotage.
I
You
know,
know,
I
Diane, you
know.
see it every single
Yep,
day in your business.
yep,
Self-sabotage. It's a fear is a powerful inhibitor. Fear is a
yep,
powerful inhibitor. And so if you can help somebody break through their fear just by taking one step at a time or taking one path forward to that, to reach the mountain, then yeah, it's a huge win. Like I'm getting
yep.
so many nice testimonials from people about just breaking through their fear, and that is like amazing.
Yeah, that really is. So, looking ahead, what's your bigger vision for your wellness circle and the impact you hope to make?
I mean, for me with my wellness circle, again, I think it's such a nice dovetail between my marketing business because all these people that are seeing me for marketing, they need all this other stuff too. And so I think it's a nice a way to be able to help them in other ways now, and formalize that a little bit. But I think for me, I just want to help people bridge the gap between knowing what they need to do and actually doing it. And I think I do that in business and marketing anyway. I think that's one of the things for why people hire me, besides my creativity. And I think I'm passionate about helping people build habits, and shifting their mindset, because when they're able to do that, they're so much more powerful and they can be so much more successful. And so um, that's what I think ultimately I want to be able to do, is I want to be able to impact more people in that way.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, everything that you have is, like you said, you're not going to let the person fail. So they need to be ready. I think it's definitely an issue of, when if someone's going to work with you, they need to be ready because you're going to be on them, which to me is like so attractive. But that's the type of personality I'm like, if I'm going to work with a coach, yeah, I want them to hold me accountable. What's the point? Like, why am I paying you if I don't want you to hold me accountable? And just kind of like, oh yeah, it's okay, you didn't do it this week, no problem, blah da. No, like, kick my butt.
Well, my curiosity is, it's all about curiosity. Like, why didn't you do it? Right? That's the
Yep.
question. What is it that stopped you? And that's the kind of work that I like to do with clients is, okay, you didn't do it last week. Okay, let's not, get upset about it. Let's understand why we didn't do it and what stopped us and what do we need to do to move forward, right? And so I think that's the difference between someone failing and someone having success.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Understanding, like, that way you understand, okay, what's going on? Is it something subconscious? What are the things I say to myself? How do I negotiate with myself? That kind of thing. That's what you need to figure out.
Right. And I would
Right.
say, Diane, just real quickly, because I think, again, I have a lot of people in the wellness space and sphere, including in people that where it makes sense to bring some of those people in, right? I'm a health, life, and business coach. I'm not a therapist,
Right.
I'm not a personal trainer. There is a certain level in which I can do and which I feel comfortable doing. And then that's where the power really comes in for me because I have so many of those amazing connections and those resources that I'm really close
Exactly.
to. And I'm able to bring them to the table to provide even more value for my client because those people I'm bringing in those experts that may have more knowledge than I do. And so that's where I collaborate a lot with so many different practitioners of a variety of means and resources.
I love it. And people can get more information about you, obviously, and learn more about your programs at your website,
Hmm.
www.yourwellnesscircle.com. Well, thank you so much. This flew by, Deirdre. This is always an
Thank
awesome time with
you.
talking with you for
I
sure. Thank you
know.
so much for all the great information. And hopefully, people will be reaching out to you to learn more as well.
Sounds good. And I look forward to seeing you at your gala on Thursday.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I want to thank all of you listeners for tuning in to the Dr. Diane Show. Please join me the first and third Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, where I have experts from around the country teaching you cutting edge therapies on longevity medicine, natural health, mindset, and soul purpose. Please like and subscribe to my channel, Dr. Diane Hayden, and I will see you here next time. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Diane Show, revolutionary expansion of mind, body, and soul with me, Dr. Diane Hayden. Tune in every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on transformationtalkradio.com. Center your thoughts on what you want and shut the door on every suggestion of fear, worry, or lack from your own consciousness or the consciousness around you. Once you master that, everything is possible. To learn more about me, Dr. Diane, and receive a free digital subscription of my magazine, visit naturalnutmeg.com.